Hello, I'm Lin Li Fu. You're watching ST Live. We are bringing you developing news out of Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin has announced an escalation of its invasion of Ukraine, saying that Russia will partially mobilize its 2 million strong military reserves. In a televised address on Wednesday, he said that the move was to defend Russia and to quote-unquote liberate East Ukraine's Donbas region. His announcement comes as Russian forces battle a Ukrainian counteroffensive that has regained some occupied territory. Russia's defense minister said the partial mobilization will see 300,000 reserves called up and would apply to those with previous military experience. We now turn to the Straits Times' global affairs correspondent Jonathan Ayal to help us understand this latest development. Jonathan, very good to have you with us. President Putin has announced a partial mobilization of his military reserves. How major an escalation is this, and what might be his calculations in making such a move?
Well, it is a very major escalation in the war. Let us not forget that for the last almost 7 months since this operation was going on, there was a deliberate Russian attempt to play down the impact of this war on the population of Russia itself. Only professional soldiers were allegedly sent into the conflict. There was no discussion about the number of casualties, and the entire war was called special military operation, precisely in order not to alarm the Russian public. The fact that Mr. Putin reluctantly was forced into this move is an indication of how badly the operation in Ukraine is actually going for Russia. But it is also an indication that the Russian leader and the Russian government are getting rather desperate. Periodically, there have been discussions in the Russian media about mobilization. They've always been quashed by the authorities who claim that there was no need for it. All of a sudden, there is, and the Russian Defense Ministry is talking about up to 300,000 men being called under the colors within the next few days.
So what could happen next, and what will you be looking out for in analyzing the direction of how this conflict will play out?
Well, it's clearly getting very tricky in political terms for Mr. Putin. Up to now, he was able to claim that Russia is winning by simply not defining what the ultimate objective is. One moment he talked about confronting NATO, the US-led military alliance in Europe. Another moment he talked about crushing so-called Nazis in Ukraine or protecting ethnic Russians in Ukraine. So he was able up to now to claim that he can decide how far this war goes. The mood has considerably changed in Moscow. They now accept that they may not control all the situation on the ground, and that they definitely need to start relying on Russian reserves. Now, the two things that I'll be looking for: the reaction of the Russian public. Mr. Putin is in control of the media, but he may not be in control of any popular backlash that is likely to take place. Clearly, the Russian public knows now that the situation is not good. And secondly, see what level Mr. Putin is prepared to raise the stakes here. There is talk about referendums in the occupied territories of Ukraine in order to attach them to Russia. That will be a further considerable escalation, because the Russian message is that they are prepared to go up to the nuclear level in order to defend what Mr. Putin calls Russian territory.
All right, thank you very much for your insights, Jonathan. The Straits Times' global affairs correspondent, Jonathan Ayal. Our coverage continues on straitstimes.com and on Facebook as well as YouTube. Don't forget to hit subscribe to stay informed and activate the bell icon on YouTube to catch live news updates. I'm Lin Li Fu. Thanks for watching.